it should talk a black. My machine, it waits and it decides. I mean, if you don't touch it for a few minutes, I don't know. I don't know about machines. I just know how to type on them and how to get from one place to another. Now here also, see, this is May 25th, May 26th. This is the 26th of May. This is the 26th of May. All these codes, I don't know. And I think it's giving information on the mind. You know, I don't like that name being over here either. It says the scientific commentary refers to P13K, whatever pathway mutations cause a spectrum of brain malformations from, I don't know what that word is. It looks like melancholy, but I know it's not because of that part. Cuticle dysplasia, you see. I would have to go to school to even know what the fuck they're talking about. I went into this word and this word. I think this is what I wanted to read down here. I'm going to read this, but I really have no idea what the fuck I'm reading. The enlarging spectrum of focal cortical dysplasias. The scientific commentary refers to whatever mutations caused a spectrum of brain malfunctions. They say that in all of it. But here it says a vocal malformations of cortical development, including focal cortical dysplasia, which is FDC, are among the most common cases of intractable epilepsy in children. I don't know why I didn't know that where my son, he had epilepsy, but only as a child. You know, the doctor said he would grow out of it. He hasn't had a seizure or anything since he was maybe 19 or 20. In this issue of Brain, Jansen and colleagues provide evidence that whatever that damn word is, you know, they make these big ass words up so they can appear to be so fucking smart. And FDC type LLA result from mosaic. So does mosaic have the same thing to do with Masonic? Mutations in components of the P13K, AKT, and then it goes into a TOR at the end. It is a target of something else. I will have to go to school to actually break this down to comprehend what they're saying. However, I can break it down as though it's cold. I'll just look at this bitch as though it's cold and I'll just break it down. And then you have P13K, CA, I say that's with California. Then you have AKT3 or P10 in 4/33 patients using targeted screening of panel of this stuff and P10 genes. This guy named Jensen. These individuals suffer from intractable seizures and exhibited radiographic and histopathologically defined evidence of either HMEG or FDC. An additional single case of this. Man, I swear this damn. I'm going to buy me a new one. Soon, the next time I go outside, I'm going to buy me a new one of these. I'm getting tired of this little booger. I just may get someone to take this thing somewhere and see what's going on. If they can stop it from going to sleep all the fucking time, that stuff starts to get on my damn nerves. Okay, in the remaining 29, this is it, okay. I don't know where I stopped it, but these individuals suffer from intractable seizures and exhibited radiographic and histopathologically defined evidence of either HMEG or FDC. I thought that was funny, FDC, not DCF, but FDC. An additional single case of dysplastic, whatever this longest word is, was linked to P13KCA. In the remaining 29 patients with HMEG or FCD type 1, then there was a type LLA or a type LLB. No mutations were identified. Now, see, this seems to me like this was some fucking type of experiment. See, targeted screening and dealing with patients. Now, Amy said that it was a different type of experiment, right? So I did find this in the codes. So now it says that type 1, type 2A, or type 2B, no mutations were identified. That means these people had no mutations of the brain. And then Amy said, okay, you are a different type of experiment. So just say I was one of these patients, not knowing it, we don't know if they're patients or not, because sometimes they watch us from afar and we don't even know they're watching us. And so she said, I'm looking at it like this and say, okay, so since they could not find, there were no mutations were identified. So now do they experiment on those that no mutations were identified to try to find out why there were no mutations identified? Because Amy said it was a different type of experiment. So I say, okay, now once I go to one experiment, I survive. See, I call myself a dissident. I survive the shit. I come up with ideals and I do shit that they're not used to. It's just I think differently. Because the pink man can say, oh, some people, they are very artistic, like with drawing or crafts or something like that. They use this part of their mind. And then those who are into letters and numbers or whatever, they use that part of their mind. And those who are into math, they use that part of their mind. However, I feel like I use all parts of my mind. So now I feel like I become a new type of experiment. Then is the phosphorylation profile or components of the P13K. And then the TOR, I look at this like all it needs is an N, it will be torn. Like torn 526. Now we come to the signaling pathway showed that this phosphorylation of AKT at this with T308 serine and all these other numbers was enriched all AMG and CFD cases in conjunction with measure AKT kinase. You see? Kinase. That's kind of funny. Activity could distinguish mutation, positive dysplasia, cortex, mutation, negative dysplasia cortex, and non-dysplasia epilepsy cortex. In conclusion, Jensen suggests that FCD, but not DCF, but FCD Okay, so this Jensen guy, and sometimes I wonder what does ET and AL mean. I've seen this, but it's like lawyers use it. Suggests that FCD and this. Damn, stop doing this shit. Okay, comprise a spectrum of developmental malfunctions linked to the P13K toward pathway. Vocal malformations of the cerebral, see, I know that's your mind cortex, have been reported since the 1800s, with the first description of HMEC by Sims. See, by Sims, which is a Sims game. You know, to be simulated or whatever. That's why whoever have done it, they put the Sims right there. Wow, they've been simulating this for the longest time, since the 1800s. Wow. And then in 1835, 100 years before my Alba was born, and 100 years before York was born, in the flesh. I keep losing it. Okay, here we go. And tuberculosis complex by Burnville in 1880. Now we move up to end 1957, a year before I was born. Now we're dealing with Crohn. You know, we deal with Crohn today to get to and fro in cyberspace. Crohn published a short pathological report describing abnormality in large neurons in the brains of 3 patients with intractable epilepsy within areas of this word, which set the conceptual stage for the index report of vocal and dysplasia of the ... Now, you know, it would be good to have Dr. Vine around right now, so I know he can break this shit down. So I wanted to know exactly what the fuck does P13K AKTMTOR, what does it mean? You know, like, what is the meaning? Like, this is just telling me, I guess, what it does, but I want to know what is the meaning. And as I say, you know, they're always in our brains, and they know a little too goddamn much with me. Well, I mean, this is just too much. They're just digging too deep into someone's brains. This shit is just too much, and I'm not going to try to go on the internet and try to find this word, these biggest words, and see what this means. But I know that means signaling pathways showed that whatever AKT signaling. How the fuck do they know? I read somewhere in here too, they're talking about the signals that in cerebic or whatever, cerebic, which means your mind pathways, and they're talking about the signals that run through there. And if they know that signals can run through your cerebral whatever pathways, they know how to use the internet on your brain cells. So I want to see exactly what it meant. Okay, so it is an intracellular, but I see the word trace there. TRACE, trace. Like, they can trace the signals in our mind, you see? Signaling pathway important in regarding the cell cycle. Therefore, it is directly related to cellular quiescence or proliferation, and cancer and longevity. Everyone that they're fucking around with people, and this is why everyone is getting cancer. Because if they know that it is an intracellular signaling pathway, is this something in our bodies? That's what I wanted to know. Man, I don't want to go to school to learn that shit. I don't want to. Maybe I don't have to go this deep. Localizing FOXO in the catoplasm, activating PTDINS3 pieces, or activating mTOR, which can affect transcription of P70C. This is like science or some shit. Biology, science, or science, biology. There are many known factors that enhance the P13K pathway, including EGF. Shh. What the fuck that mean? Be quiet? And insulin. And a cam. The pathway is antagonized by various, and there's United States at the end, factors, including P10 and this other shit, and this HB9, and many cancers. This pathway is overactive, thus reducing apoptosis and allowing proliferation. This pathway is necessary, however, to promote growth and proliferation over differentiation of adult stem cells over what? Differentiations. No, see, in the Willie Lynch letter, he said he sat down and he found out the differences between us. So now, this is a proliferation over the differentiation of adult stem cells. Neural stem cells, your mind. Specifically, it is the difficulty in finding an appropriate amount of proliferation versus a necessary component in neural long-term protentation. Protentation. I want to go and look up shh, which means don't say shit. It is a sonic head talk, which is your gene. You can't tell me these people are not fucking around our genes. They fucking know too much about our genes not to be fucking with them. And then they want to call sonic hedgehog is one of the 3 proteins in the mammalian signaling pathway family called hedgehog. Look at this. The fuck is this? You see what I'm saying? 3D structure of the signaling domain of the Mammalian sonic hedgehog from whatever. Wow. Really? This look like an arrow. This look like an arrow. So does this. So do we actually have these arrows in our bodies? These look like green Crayolas. This one look like it's broken. See, and you show you up close. It's funny how they do shit, you know. So this is supposed to be a 3D structure of the signaling domain or N-terminal domain of the MURINE hedgehog, a protein. A protein, see? They've gone too far. You see this thing back here? This look like a jack. You know, you play jacks. They've gone too fucking far. You should have seen the ones they got when they put this into, and then they went into the images. I'll show you. Now these are graphs. And there's ER. I've seen this somewhere too. Here it says pathway as a therapeutic target in endometrial cancer. Wow. And this is all they do. And sit around, but see, you guys think this is okay. Oh, we need that in case we get cancer. They're giving you cancer. You don't need this shit. And this is so stupid to me. This looks like your head. And maybe you have some pigtails. A nurse's hat. A long body. The legs and the feet. But this is supposed to be a figure 1. It's binding proteins. See, I don't understand this. When it comes to this, I'm really, really lost. But to me, it's like they've gone too far. They do too much, they know too much. To sit back and figure out what slave does this and what slave does that, and this kind of stuff is way different. I mean, it's the same, but to me, it's still different than going inside our bodies and going inside our minds. And there's bad right here. And they will have to like go to school to learn what the hell all this is. You know, now Abba said we only had to study for an hour a day. Man, I used to study my ass off. I'm telling you, I had big ass books. I studied for 4 or 5 hours a day. I would get up early in the morning and do my studying, or when my children are asleep at night, I would still be up doing my studying. Sometimes I didn't even sleep studying. And I did a lot of studying, so when I got to a certain age, I can sit my ass down. But now, since they have come into my world, it's like every time I look around, I'm studying more and more and more and more shit. I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at. So I'm gonna get away from here because when it comes to this, I just really do not know where I come from. We don't get this far, and I did ask for help. You know, I did ask for help to understand what this was about. However, my entities will not give that kind of help because this is too deep. And this is why Anu is so pissed at Inky. All of this is digging into our brain cells, or is digging into our DNA. I may didn't see the actual letters DNA, but these niggas are going into our brain cells. Because now this is talking about Parkinson's disease, but I found one that was talking about Alzheimer's. And you know, they had the Jenkins. Oh, he was such a smart. He was so smart, I'm telling you. And now they gave him his mind, and now they've taken it away. They are the Indian givers. You know, they give it and they take it away. Nasty bastards. Who am I talking about? The CIA and the nasty asses. So, oh, here it is. Alzheimer's. I told you. I knew I was reading about it. They're trying to give it to me. It's in a code where it says, oh, I forgot his name. Because they do. They come in and they cut that memory really, really quick. So I know that they can do certain things to us with their computers and with all their fancy ass words and all their goddamn AKT kiness activity bullshit. You know, but hey, that's progress, huh? And only a pink motherfucker can bring about progress. And now they're in all our brains and have us all under mind control. Whether you want to know you're under mind control or not, you're still under mind control. It is called a Loma Court. Shit talker out.